What's up guys, Will and Customs here, and today we're going to take a look at a guilty pleasure of mine. Is the Lost in Space rocket launcher robot figure, which is pretty cool. I always wanted this as a kid. This is from about 1997-98, about around that time when the Lost in Space movie came out. Looks pretty cool to me. Here's the back of it. Surprisingly, I was still able to get it mint in box pretty much. Looks like it's still taped up. Even though the box is pretty torn up and worn out, it still is pretty cool. And even take a look at this. Still got the price tags, KB Toys. So let's take a look at it out of the box. Alright guys, so here is the robot out of the box, and I have to say, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice looking figure, pretty screen accurate if you ask me. It's a 17-year-old figure, remember. But if you guys watch the movie, there's no real complaints. I think it looks pretty good overall. Some nice details overall, like the paintwork, the color schemes, everything looks pretty clean and nice. No real complaints there at all. This figure has some cool features to it, some small cool features, but we'll get into that in a second. So I'm going to do a nice 360 of it. And like I said, it's a 17-year-old figure, but it stands up pretty nicely. Very impressed by it. For one thing about some features about it, right now it's in a sitting position, I guess it's a standby position. Over here, there's a little gray bar. If you have another figure, it comes with a hacker key and you stick it in there to activate him. I don't have that, so I'm just going to use my finger. And boom, there you go. That's pretty cool. Now he's ready for battle. Another cool thing is his head pops forward like that, just like in the movie. And you can see the nice details even inside there, underneath behind the head. Pretty cool. So going back to the figure, some other features he has. Surprisingly, the batteries still work. I'm a little surprised by that. So he has a button right here with two sounds. And that's like an explosion sound. If you hold it down, it keeps going, and it keeps repeating it. And the second one is, so that's pretty cool. Another cool thing in the bottom over here, he does have some rockets that are, they don't come out though, but they're basically held over there because his rocket launcher is actually on his shoulder, which is just like the movie. It wasn't really a rocket launcher, but more of a blaster. So you take this out, you stick it on top by a peg, just like that, and then you take the missile, and you just stick it back there. Let's get in the right way. It wants to go in there. There you go. And the way it shoots, you just press it forward. That's pretty nice. Pretty cool feature right there. Another thing that he does have is nice articulation, pretty decent articulation, I would say. Going into articulation, I guess right now, he has swivels at his arms over here, the biceps. Kind of a little tilt as well. He has the hinged elbows over there, which is pretty nice. Swivel at the claws, and a little pincher mechanism right there at the claws as well, for both sides. Over here at the bottom, his other arms, they're on I guess you call it ball joints. They go rotate all the way around, but that's about it. They don't do anything else at all. He does swivel as well, so that's pretty nice. And he goes up and down, if you want to call it that something, but it's just on a spring, so it pops back up. And he has some rollers on his bottom, so he can roll around. So yeah, you know, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I always wanted to get this. Believe it or not, I was actually a pretty big fan, and I actually didn't mind the movie of the Lost in Space movie that came out in 1997-98. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I never watched the original TV series, so that's all I have to base my knowledge really on. And I enjoyed it, to tell you the truth. And then the robot was pretty cool overall. And I know that if he actually had some other things, like over here, there's supposed to be a magnet. I don't really have anything metal and small enough to attach to it, but it's supposed to be a magnet right here. And you have one of the aliens on it, you can attach it onto that. So other than that, it's pretty cool, pretty decent. Like I said before, going back into some small details, it's pretty nice. You know, it has some small, minor details all over the place. Very nice and decent looking. Pretty cool. Size comparisons, here is the robot of some of the other figures from different lines. As you can see, I think he pretty much is in limbo right now because he's a little bit too small when it comes to the 6-inch scale of figures, but I think he's a little bit too big when it comes to the 4-inch figures. I do believe all the figures from that line were actually 4-inch figures though, so pretty much it's pretty more appropriate for these two, if anything. But I do maybe think if there was a 5-inch scale, it'd be perfect. But other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm pretty happy to finally have it in my hands. And that's about it. So thanks for watching, guys. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe. Do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And go to wildlandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, get a thumbs up. Peace.